Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Paragon. And this is a new comedy from writer-director Michael Doignan, and this film comes out of Down Under. This film from New Zealand, this Kiwi film, focuses on the story of a victim of a hit and run whose wife leaves him, his life is in shatters, and he wants to get revenge on the driver that did this to him, so he tries to become a psychic. So, because that is the most logical way for him to be able to get revenge, and this ridiculous situation ensues. And it's starring Benedict Wall, who plays Dutch, our main character, who is so funny. He is legitimately hilarious in this film, and the performance that he brings really elevates this film, because this is like a lean hour and 25-minute comedy. And he just brings such an energy to it. His personality, this character of Dutch, is a fun time. He's a bit of a mess up and, doesn't have a whole lot of awareness of his marriage. And, seems like it's been dead for a while. But, of course, he's just going to blame this accident and not take any responsibility for himself. And that's the journey that Dutch goes on in this film that I think is quite effective. And Wall is very funny and energetic and brings that energy. You have Florence Noble, who plays Lyra, who's the woman who helps him go through this journey to become a psychic. She has this deadpan personality that really works for the film. I do feel like the character is so much just like 90-something% just dropping exposition, which is a little clunky from like a writing perspective. But, I think Noble does a fine job in a performance that makes it interesting enough. I do want to shout out Johnny Brugg, who is from like What We Do in the Shadows, the film. So that was fun seeing him pop up in this. Famous Kiwi doing some work with Taika Waititi and Jermaine Clement. But this film, I feel like, has some pacing issues, even for an hour and 25 minutes. I feel like it loses its steam a little bit in the second act into the third act. Where this story goes, it's a comedy. It's has like a darker edge to it, but it's still a comedy. And how it plays out's a little bit nicer than you might expect, and maybe a little softer than it should have been based off of how the rest of this movie was. But I feel like most of the journey's a lot of fun to be on. It has such an interesting concept and idea behind it. And I think Wall does a really great job, along with Noble, making this a really engaging experience. And, you have some other players along the way. But when it really comes down to it, there's a lot of personality that goes into the filmmaking here. And Doignan, I think, does a great job of trying to make this feel more dynamic with a really low budget. You can tell this is a low budget film. But this is some fun Kiwi humor right here. And it was a delight for, an 85-minute movie that unfortunately still even felt a little bit long. Maybe they're stretching the concept a little far. But, it has its merits and is a fun watch. And not a huge time commitment either. But those are my thoughts on The Paragon. Let me know what you think and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.